Hey, and welcome back to the channel. A lot of people ask me about Purrely Yummy. What's my opinion on this deck? And does it make Purrely better or even playable? Um, I'm not very deep insight into this deck, but I tested it, I think 1 or 2 days, maybe 10 matches. Played some opening hands. I'm not deep inside of the Yummy engine, so maybe I misplayed a little bit there. Um, but I think this doesn't matter. Um, I think uh, 1 week ago dropped an big replay channel this list. Um, he showed a lot of replays with this Purrely Yummy list, and this deck seems not too bad in the replays. I copied the list card by card, and I would like to talk a little bit about the list and my opinion. And I tested it, of course, and yeah, what's my opinion after the testing? Um, in general, Uh, this is kinda like the Fiendsmith Purrely version, because you have an sub engine you can go into after your Purrely engine resolves, or you got heavily interrupted, that you can go into the other engine. With this engine, you bridge from Anima or from Purrely into Anima, and then with Anima and another Purrely or in Yummy Monster in hand, you can bridge into the Yummy engine. In Fiendsmith, of course, you go with 2 bodies into Moon and Requiem, and yeah, then Fiendsmith combo. And I think this is pretty similar. And I don't like the Fiendsmith version because the engine don't add anything, in my opinion, to this deck. The win condition of Purrely is in the most cases summon your Noir, your opponent cannot out the Noir, and you win. Why do you need with something like Fiendsmith and Caesar next to your Noir? Of course, you have interruptions, but you don't need interruptions when you have your tower. Your opponent cannot out this one. Why you should play another engine? Why you should um, 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 change non-engine space for another engine that don't help you to establish or to bring you to Noir, basically. The Fiendsmith engine doesn't help you to summon Noir. It is another line or makes another interruption. But my opinion, this is not necessary. You have your tower, you don't need anything else. So the Fiendsmith version is kind of bricky, I think. And the biggest problem is, in my opinion, that with pure Purrely, you can summon your Noir very consistently. And when you play another engines in this deck, this is not so consistent anymore. You lose to hand traps. When you play other engines, there are moments Nibiru is very good against your deck, but when you play pure Purrely, Nibiru doesn't matter. Veiler doesn't matter. Imperm doesn't matter in the most cases, or some Mulchamis, they are not that great against your deck. But when you play other sub-engines, all these cards, Mulchamis, Imperm, Veiler, Droll, Nibiru, all these cards are very good against the other engines. And maybe they could also stop your Purrely engine. So your way to Noir is, yeah, not very consistent, and that's a problem. You add another engine, add another interruptions to the deck, but the deck is bricky, and you don't can summon your Noah consistently. And that's basically the same with Capsi, with Yummy. Um, of course, when everything goes through and you have insane luck, you can summon your Noir and have all the Yummy interruptions. But you don't need these, in my opinion. There's basically no synergy with these archetypes. The only synergy is that you can bridge from Purrely into Yummy, but for me, realistically, this is no synergy. Yeah. This list of the replay channel bricks a lot. In replays, every match, every game seems insane, but they always start with something like Sleepy and Capsi, and this is not too bad, but realistically, this doesn't happen that often. The next problem is the monster count is very high. Very often you have opening hands and you miss spell traps in your graveyard. So you can summon maybe your Plump, but you don't have any spell traps in your graveyard you could attach. And that means you can summon your Noir. And that's a big problem. You cannot play that many monster in your deck. The Purrely engine doesn't work with that many monsters. So I don't think this is the non-engine is right here. But it's only my opinion. The next problem I have with this deck is the field spell. The strength of Purrely is in some cases the field spell, because you have insane follow-up, targeting protection. That is very important. That's the reason why you don't lose to an Imperm or Veiler. But this version plays only one field spell. And when you play only one field spell, you basically don't open it with it. And you cannot search consistently this field spell. That means your opponent can always imperm your Lily. And when your Lily gets impermed, your Purrely engine is basically deaf. You in the most cases you cannot recover when your Lily gets impermed. So only the Yummy engine is left, and you can play with these after an imperm. But when you play free field spell, your Lily can't get negated in the most cases, and then basically everything is fine. You can summon your Noir, you have your win condition, and probably win this game. And you don't need the plan B. Yeah, you lose to a lot of hand traps, Veiler, Imperm, Droll, Molchamis, Nibiru. You run into every hand trap, and this is terrible because with pure Purrely, this is relatively consistent or relatively resilient against hand traps in the most cases. Of course, in DD Crow and Troll and Lockbird could be very good against this deck, and sometimes it's enough, but you can play around these cards. But with this deck list, I think you cannot do this. Yeah. What could I say? I think, maybe the last point is you with sub engines, you decrease your chances to get Noir. But I already said this, I guess. But we can play some opening hands, and maybe when I don't have insane luck now, I could show you what I mean. Perfect. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The only Purrely engine cards are Purrely and Yeep. And what's happened? You have to go into the main phase, of course. What's happened when this Purrely misses? I hope it will be missed now. Okay. But it's also fine. Yeah, we take, of course, the delicious. When somebody decided to imperm or Veiler this Purrely, you don't have a play left. You can only summon Anima and then Cookie and go into the Yummy combo. But your Purrely engine is dead after an Veiler or an Imperm. But our opponent don't let the card resolve, so we added the Delicious. When your opponent activates Droll now, you have no play. Your best end board is Summon Plump, set Yeep, and you have one Shuffle and Enjoy Lockbird. You will lose every game with this end board. But yeah, now this resolves. We added a Delicious Memory, and the problem now is we could activate Purrely to summon Plump, but we don't have any other Purrely card that could extend. So we have to use Delicious Memory here. Protect the Purrely, and we don't need this Poolia. And we have to special summon Lily. Another choke point when your opponent imperms or Veiler and everybody imperm or Veiler Lily, this ends. This ends right here. You cannot play Purrely anymore. But we have luck. The Lily resolves. We take, of course, the My Friend. Then we can try to summon Plump, and when we have a lot of luck, your opponent don't have anything here. And the problem is, or we drew Yeep here. Basically, this is a brick. When we don't draw Yeep, we cannot summon Noir. We have no spell or graveyard in the graveyard. We have only My Friend. And now everything what's happened here is pure luck. Every Purrely has to hit that we can summon Noir. Any hand trap would stop us. So let's reveal 3 quick spells. Got the Delicious, activate Delicious. We have to attach it. And we have to discard a monster, and this is terrible. When both cards are spells, and in my current Purrely list, I think I played 35 spells and traps. Then we could summon our Noir. But yeah, we open some Mulchamis that are pretty bad. Special summon in Purrely. And we have to hope. We have to hope here. And that's what's happening. The Purrely misses. We have a Plump. And that's it. What we can do now is, or which play is left is the Yummy combo. So we can go into Yummy. I have to look which one is the right that adds 2 cards. You can special summon, you can add. Okay, yeah. Go into Capsi. Capsi will add us 2 Yummies. You need the Capsi. And we take the Lolly. Then you have to discard 1. And then you can do basically your Yummy combo. But in this case, you play a worse version of Yummy. You have your useless Purrely cards here that do nothing, and you lose to a pure Yummy board, or pure Yummy deck. So this opening hand was terrible in my opinion. And when everything resolves. When your opponent don't interact with you, you have basically an worse version of an Yummy endboard, because Purrely doesn't work in this case. We can reset, draw another opening hand, but I think 50% of every opening hand is very bad. So the next hand, you have to activate Street and then happy, because we don't have in play here. We discard the Fuva. We have to special summon the Lily. Have to add an My Friend. And now our Purrely engine is dead, because we don't have a starter spell here. We can, of course, add one Sleepy. Special summon in Purrely. This Lily can go into Noir. But when the Purrely misses, we special summon. We have no quick spell to attach. And then we have a useless Purrely monster and no Noir access. So the best case, what you can do is with this hand without gambling, and you don't gamble with this deck. This in the most cases, you have to add 3 of this. Maybe this Purrely hits something. The Purrely misses, of course. And now you have one play, and that is Yummy combo. Go into this and special summon your Capsi. Is it Capsi? Add 1, yeah. Add 2 Yummies. And in the pure version of Purrely, when you don't play Yummy bricks or something like that, I don't like hand traps in the Purrely deck right now. I play a board breaker version, and I'm very happy with this. But when you play that many monsters, you will break every game. You have, again, only a worse version of an Yummy deck that loses to 1 interrupt. When your opponent activates Imperm on this, you end your turn. You have your only interruption is called by, and maybe this one, because you can bounce this and bounce 1 card your opponent, but this doesn't matter. You lose against every deck. So let's draw, I think, the last hand, and yeah, great. Your play is normal summon Purrely. Activates this one. You don't have any spell or traps in rotation. You summon your Lily, get impermed. The turn ends here. We cannot even play Yummy after this, because we don't have. Okay, when we drew a normal draw instead of this one, we could play Yummy, but the Purrely engine is dead. We only drew this as an engine, and you cannot do anything with that. Yeah. That were 3 random opening hands, and all these are terrible. But in general, I would say you can play this deck if you really want. I think in pure Yummy deck is better. I think in pure Purrely deck is better. But if you really want, you can play this, but not with this deck list. This deck list is terrible. Don't take these lists. I think it's fine to play these Yummy ratios. This at 3, these at once, 1 field spell and 1 surprise. I think you cannot change anything on this. The Purrely engine is basically maxed except the field spell. I'm not sure if you can play more than the 1 field spell, because I'm not sure if this is mandatory on your end board. I have not enough practice with this deck, and when this field spell isn't mandatory, maybe you can cut this one and play 3 streets, but I'm not deep inside the Yummy deck. So when this is mandatory, of course you cannot add more copies of Street because you end on this field spell. But when you can cut this card basically. Yeah, but assume this is mandatory. We have to play this at 1, we have to play this. But don't play the Fuvalos, don't play Purrely in the main deck. Don't play Droll. Droll is very bad in the next format. And Ash Blossom is useless. The card is so bad. Then we have, let me check, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 non-engine spaces. And we already play 10 monsters. So we have to keep all these, but you have to add spell or trap cards and consistency to this deck. This is all engine except call by, and because we cut the Mulchamis, you have to play breaker. And I think the best breaker, not dark ruler. I think the best breaker you can play right now with Purrely are dark ruler, because this card is insane against Yummy. I think with pure Purrely, you have a very good matchup against Yummy. A lot of interrupts of Yummy targets. And against this deck, you can play Breaker, and Purrely is very good again with Breaker. Dark Ruler is in Purrely stable, and when you drop Dark Ruler against Yummy, this is very powerful. And only 3 Breaker, I think, could be a little bit I think is not enough. You have to add another breaker. And I think Book of Eclipse is also very good. This card is very good against Yummy. This card is good against Vanquished Soul, against K9. I think this could be the best breaker in the upcoming format. Of course, in the current format, against Malice and Mitsurugi, these are terrible. Dark Ruler is okay, but the Book of Eclipse is terrible. But assume in the next format there is no Malice, there's no Riser, there's no Mitsurugi. Then the new decks are the best decks. The Justice Hunters deck. So in this format, these cards should be very good. I think 6 breakers are enough. I would like to add Intelligence here, because the card is generally very good against Vanquished Soul. Frost is very good, so I would like to play Frost. What you can also do is Monster Reborn. This is a very good card in the Purrely deck, but I don't think we have enough space in the main deck for the Monster Reborn, so I will keep it in the side. That doesn't mean you side this card. It's if you want to play Monster Reborn, play it in the main deck, but I don't think I have space for that, so I will keep it in the side now. Then we have, of course, the Foolish Goods engine with Black Goat, with Metal Foe Fusion, and of course Foolish Burial Goods. And now we have a problem, we need more non-engine. This is not enough non-engine, I think, and that's why I don't like these cards in this deck. This could be consistency cards, could be going second, going first cards. Yeah, so you have space for maybe one Foolish Burial Goods. And Foolish Burial Goods is so good in Purrely. I would like to play this at 3, but when you play this version, you don't have space for that, I think. Maybe you could side the Frost and play more Foolish Goods. But yeah, this is also very good. I would prefer to play both. We have already added the talents to the deck. We have Black Goat, we have Metal Foe. What you also can do is Prosperity in this deck for consistency. I keep it here for the idea section. And maybe you wanna play this card. On activation, this is not that relevant. You can send one Light Fairy to the graveyard. You can send an Purrely, but this doesn't make any sense. You could play this as a one-off, as a foolish target, because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 monster, fairy monster, special summon it. And why you could play this at 1 is that your Foolish Burial Goods can is basically a monster reborn if you want. So when you already have an Purrely on field or on graveyard, make Anima, so that's in graveyard, activate Foolish, send this. This brings back your Purrely and you can extend. This is not too bad as an one-off. I like this card. But when you play in this version only one Foolish, you don't have space for that. That with the 1-for-1 trade is not very good. When you have only one Foolish, you cannot play this card. So it's in the idea section. And what I also like is Pankatrops as a side deck card. And you can not searching, but you can special summon your Pankatrops from the deck with Foolish Burial Goods. Because you can send with Foolish. Is that World Dino? No, yeah. The World Dino Wrestling. If your opponent controls more monsters than you can banish this card from the graveyard, special summon one Dino Wrestler monster from your deck. So you can play one Dino Wrestler Pankatrops in the side deck and one World Dino Wrestling in the side deck. And this engine works only when you play 2 or 3 Foolish Burial Goods. And you should play 2 or 3 copies because this card is insane. You can send this one, you can send the Blessing, you can send Metal Foe, Black Goat, Engine. This is basically the best card in the deck because it's enabled anything what you want to do. It's combo, it's extender, it's interruption, it's in board breaker, it's in reborn, everything. This card is crazy. But you don't have space when you play these milkshake monster here. Yeah. This is in target for Foolish Burial Goods. Send this one, banish this one, going second, special Pankatrops from the deck. And Pankatrops is not that bad against Purrely. But when you have space only for one Foolish, these cards are not worth or these. But when it's reasonable, I think, to play only one Foolish, Black Gold, and Metal Foe Fusion. This ratio is fine because no card is a brick. You always can send these with a quick spell to the graveyard, and this is a little bit advantage. So the ratio in general is not wrong. Yeah. When you play with this deck, when you really want to mix these archetypes, play something like this. You have to play spell cards, so the deck is more consistent. This is the idea section. I think the extra deck, this should be fine. I don't think you need the Zeus, because in every case, when you summon Zeus, you lose the match. Zeus is not that good in this deck. When you summon your Zeus and you activate it, that means you don't have Noir, and when you don't have Noir, you lose the game. So don't think Zeus is mandatory in this deck. Maybe you could play a second Plump like that. Yeah, I think Plump is better. Yeah. That's an example of a deck list. This should be more consistent and better in the current meta or in general. The problem is when you don't play any hand traps, something like Malice, something like Mitsurugi, when there is an quote unquote old deck, I would say. It's currently very good, of course, but nobody plays now Mitsurugi or Malice. I think people that are playing these decks right now after Justice Thunders are basically cringe. But yeah, when you play against Malice, this non-gen is very bad and I think you will lose on this. So this only works when you play the Justice Hunter meta. So maybe you have to wait 1 month for the ban list, and then this is fine. Or you side the Mulchamis, so you have a chance against the old meta decks. Yeah. And the last problem is this Dice Man. Dice Smasher? Yeah, Dice Smasher. There's one. When decks like Vanquished Soul or Memento summon this card, you will lose the game because you cannot do anything against this card. You need hand traps to stop this. But I think this card will be banned, and then you don't have the problem. I think when this card, Malice and Mitsurugi, get a hit on the next ban list, you don't have to play hand traps, and you can play board breaker, and board breaker are better than hand traps in Purrely. I think that's it. Play Purrely Yummy when you want the best version of any of these decks. Play Purrely Yummy, play pure Purrely. I will bring a pure Purrely list in the next days, maybe 1 week, when I made some tournaments. But don't play this. I don't think this is worth to play. But try it if you want. But when you want to try the mix of cats and milkshakes, then use an more spell-related version of the deck and not the Mulchamis. And not Droll and Ash. These are really terrible. Yeah. I think that's it. When you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Like the video. I really appreciate that. And have a nice day. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.